thinks that is full of shit. The fact of the matter is that that kind of loud hoochie mama behavior has no place anywhere. You know, it makes black folks look bad. It is not the definition of being black. The definition of being black is someone like Dr. Mae Jemison, the first black female astronaut, who was inspired by Nichelle Nichols' role, Uhura, in Star Trek. Who, you know, I mean, and I don't know if Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. himself told Nichelle Nichols to stay on that show no matter what. And as a result of that, a result of Uhura being visible, Dr. Mae Jemison was inspired to become the first black female astronaut. That's what it means to be black. Not this, ooh, girl, child, Shanae from Martin bullshit that, you know. There's a movie in the early 70s called The Mac, about a pimp who goes back to his old neighborhood after he succeeds. And he's passing out $100 bills to the kids in the neighborhood. And there's a scene when one of the kids says, Goldie, when I grow up, I want to be just like you. Well, he stops right there and he says, look, you be a doctor, you be a lawyer, you be a teacher, you be a writer. But for God's sake, don't be like me. If you say that again, I'm not going to come back around here anymore. Unfortunately, that was a 30-second scene in an hour-and-a-half long movie, and that message is completely lost in the black community. In fact, unfortunately, just the opposite is the case. You know, if you watch BET for 5 minutes, all you'll see is rap video after rap video telling folks the diametric opposite message of what was expressed in the movie The Mac. Instead of not wanting to be like a pimp, everyone in the black community wants to be a pimp. And therein lies the problem. And so, raised in such an environment, you know, you raised in such an environment, you end up being one of the tenants of my building, who is now indirectly responsible for me having a heart condition. But again, I don't even know if it was, I haven't had an attack since, so I don't even know if it was my heart. Again, it could have been just stress, it could have been an anxiety attack, who knows? You know, and it may very well be too late to tell. You know, I don't know. One thing though, it is worth mentioning, when Dr. King was killed by the government, the autopsy showed that even though he was 39, his heart, he had the heart of a 60-year-old. Now, how's it the case that this 39-year-old man has the heart of a 60-year-old? Well, it's the stress of the civil rights movement. I dare say I've been through at least as much stress over the years as an activist, so, you know, that could very well account for what happened, you know, and the loud, indignant behavior of the tenants in my building pushed it over the edge.